Let's dive into this week's race news action with the EWS in Le Thuile. We'll be looking at the Transalp bike race, and of course there's been national championships happening everywhere. Let's get into it. First off, the British National Downhill Championship saw racers head north to the relentless and rocky terrain of Glencoe in Scotland. In the elite women's, Rachel Atherton and Tahnée Seagrave both sat out from racing at the weekend after several weeks of intense World Cup competition. However, Katie Curd was up for the challenge and raring to go, and she took her first elite win with a staggering 8-second lead. The former four-cross world champ suffered a pretty severe concussion at Mount St Anne in 2016, so it's great to see her back on form. Battling out for the win in the men's category were some big names, but it was Madison Saracen's Matt Walker and the winner of the opening round in Kunkan who pipped fellow teammate Danny Hart to the line with a 3-second lead. So that means Walker and Katie Curd will be wearing the national championship sleeves for the rest of the season. Now to cross country from Glencoe to Hadley for the British National Cross Country Championships, where firm favourites set off on course battling out for the national title. Grant Ferguson managed to hold on to his winning streak, taking his 6th successive title, which comes as little surprise as we've seen him absolutely dominate the men's cross country field. Less than a minute behind was Tom Bell taking silver, and Jason Bootle took bronze. Defending her title was Annie Last, who gave the other women little chance of coming near her. Hot off the start line, Last wasn't letting go of her title without a fight, finishing a huge 6 minutes ahead of Kerry McPhee. Last secures her national jersey for the 5th year in a row. Congratulations. Moving over to Germany now, where the National Cross Country Championships took place in St Ingbert. Cannondale factory rider Manuel Fumic battled it out to defend his title in an extremely close finish to the line. Fumic took the win by just 1 second over George Egger. Later, Egger went on to admit that he actually miscalculated his laps, believing there was still one more to go. Gutted. Over in the women's category, we were expecting to see Sabine Spitz muscling her way to the win after being given the all clear by doctors following her crash at the World Cup in Val d'Isole. However, a DNF for Sabine left the field wide open for cyclocross racer Elizabeth Brandau to take her first national championships win. Now to Canada. Emily Batty has been hitting big heights at recent World Cups. In fact, last weekend she said she had winning legs. Unfortunately, a mechanical meant we never got to see if she had the power to put Gunri Adale to sword at the World Cup. However, if this weekend's form is anything to go by, then there's good reason to think that Emily will be topping a World Cup podium during this season, and is also a good outside bet for world champs. She was untouchable this weekend at the Canadian National Champs, holding off Sandra Volta and Hayley Smith to take the jersey and continue that fine form. In the men's elite, it was a much closer battle, with Peter de Serra emerging as the national champ in this one. He held off Raphael Gain and Leandre Bouchard, who were caught up in a tight race for second position, Raphael taking it this time. We are jetting all around the world here. Now it's time for the US national champs. Out with injury, Aaron Gwin wasn't able to compete in the US national downhill champs, and that left it wide open for a new crop of youngsters to battle it out. Gwyn's teammate Nico Mullally came out on top though for the YT mob, besting Charlie Harrison of the Intense Factory Racing and Luca Shaw of Santa Cruz Syndicate. Since 2009, Aaron Gwin has won the national title jersey every year except for 2011. That's quite a record, but even with those results, we've seen such a rise in talent from the young guns this year that even if he did race, the young guns might have finally given him a good run for his money. You never know. Now the IXS European Downhill Cup in Spisek in the Czech Republic. The track at Spisek Bike Park in the Czech Republic is a real test. Incredibly tough, packed full of roots and rocks and hard-packed rough berms to keep any rider on their toes. And after a dry qualifying at round 4 of the IXS European Downhill Cup, the heavens opened to make the race day even harder to judge. Stanislav Senel took the win in 3 minutes 5 seconds 0.4, which is a fantastic ride, especially as he had to handle the pressure of holding on to his form from a fastest time in qualifying in the main race itself. So Joshua Barr from Germany was second, just under a second back from Senel, but over 3 seconds ahead of third place man Bryn Dickerson from New Zealand. In the women's, a much tighter finish was at hand, just 0.1 seconds separated Slovenian Monika Hrastnik and Janine Hubscher from Switzerland, with Hrastnik taking it in the end by just that short distance with a time of 3:39.4. Sandra Rubasam was also within the same second of Hrastnik's winning time, taking the third spot on the podium for her efforts. All three ladies in such a close one that no one really deserved to lose, but that's not racing, so congratulations goes to Monika this time. Now to the EWS in La Thuile in Italy, very exciting racing. Sam Hill seems to be on the form of his life, and that's saying something. With this win at La Thuile in Italy this weekend, he's cleaning up the EWS. That's 4 wins out of 5 now. The first day of racing also happened to be his 33rd birthday, and he gave himself the best present he could by winning every stage of the day, which is incredible. Martin Mays once again has taken second place, which would be great for anyone, but no doubt frustrating for him, although he is riding in the time of Sam Hill. This is his 3rd second place result this year alone. And downhill racer and wildman Eddie Masters took a fantastic 3rd. He's currently sitting 11th in the EWS rankings, which is far better than his 30th in the downhill overall at the moment. Time for a change in focus perhaps. Before La Thuile, Robin Vollner was sitting in 2nd, but putting family first, he decided to stay home and be with his wife for the birth of his child. Congratulations. Johan Borelli also missed 2 rounds to take care of his little one, coming back to La Thuile and managing 8th overall. The EWS seems like it's becoming a dad's race. Cécile Ravenel continues her reign of dominance, winning all but 1 stage. It really looks like no one can stop her current trajectory, as she's won every race of the year so far. Isabeau Cordeiro continues to shadow her with another 2nd. She got 2nd in every stage bar 1, and that 1 stage was the one that Cécile didn't win. That went to Veronika Brichel of Germany. Also this week, the bike Transalp powered by Sigma was another success for Marcus Kaufmann and Jochen Kaus, who won their 4th title at the 7-day stage race classic through the Alps. The pairing of Kaufmann and Kaus of Team Centurion Vord won the final stage, their 2nd of the race, to claim the title. In 2nd position, it was Urs Huber and Simon Stevejohn of Team Bulls. Janine Schneider and Stephanie Dawn earned their first win in the women's event, riding for Team Nordas Canyon Stroke Cube. They were both riding in their 2nd respective Transalp, and they concluded the event with their 6th stage win. John said they had felt the pressure of holding the lead, but a balance of full speed and playing it safe was the way to go to protect their position, and they did it very well. Now, thanks to Cafe for sending in the footage we saw of the Canadian National Champs. Don't forget to send in any race news you have or have seen to racenews@gnbn.com. Paul Cook from New South Wales, Australia did exactly that because he wanted us to know all about the Central Coast Mountain Bike Club's Enduro Series, which is going off. 4 rounds run already, all sold out. Juniors are particularly active this season with standout rides from Charlie Watkins, Ewan Butler and Samuel Whip in the under-15s, and Chris Hughes in the Masters. Make sure you catch the Dirt Shed show on Friday, and stay with us now by clicking here to see Neil and Blake's bikepacking adventure. Hit the globe to subscribe, of course, and don't forget your thumbs. See you next week.